Most people think walking away from a long career is a courage problem. It isn't. It's a money problem wearing a courage costume. When someone stays stuck in a career that's draining them for 10 extra years, it's almost never because they lack the guts to leave. It's because it's because they never sat down and did the actual math. So leaving stayed this vague, terrifying cliff in their imagination instead of a plan on paper. In this video, I am going to show you how to actually afford walking away from a 20-year career. We are going to figure out your real number, build a bridge instead of taking a leap, and set up the buckets that turn this from a gamble into a decision. By the end, you'll know exactly what has to be true financially before you can move. If you appreciate this type of content, gently tap that like button. Here we go. Let me start by killing the myth that keeps people trapped because until this myth is dead, you can't think clearly. The myth is that walking away means quitting on a Friday with nothing lined up and just hoping it works out. Nobody responsible does that, and I would never tell you to do. That's not brave. That's reckless. And the two get confused constantly. Real freedom isn't a leap of faith. Real freedom is math. It's boring, it's specific, and it's completely within your control. And the reason that's good news is that a courage problem feels like a personality flaw, something you either have or you don't. A math problem is just a series of steps, and you can do steps. So, the first thing you need is your real number because almost nobody actually knows this. If I stopped 100 people who feel trapped in their careers and asked them how much money they'd need to walk away, 90 of them would give me a made up number that's way too high. And that inflated number is exactly what's keeping them stuck. Their brain picked the scary figure out of the air, and now they are imprisoned by a number they never even checked. Here's how you find your real number. And I want you to do this on an actual paper, not in your head, because your head will lie to you and make it feel bigger than it is. Step 1. Figure out what your life actually costs to run per month. Not what you earn, but what you spend when you are stressed and buying things to feel better. But the real baseline cost of keeping your life running: housing, food, insurance, the essentials, the non negotiables. That's your monthly burn. Step 2. Multiply that by the number of months you did want as a safety runaway. For most people, somewhere between 12 and 24 months of runaway is the range where they can breathe and move from choice instead of panic. So, if your real monthly is, for example, and you want an 18-month runaway, your real number is that figure times 18. That's it. That is the actual wall you have to clear. And I promise you, for most people, the real number is dramatically smaller than the terrifying fog number they had been carrying around. Naming it shrinks it. Now, once you have that number, the whole game changes because now you are not staring at a cliff, you are staring at a bridge you have to build. And this is the single most important reframe in this entire video. So let me slow down on it. Do not think about this as a leap. A leap is one terrifying jump over a gap with no idea what's at the bottom. A bridge is something you build one plank at a time. From where you are standing while you are still safe. You do not have to leave anything to start building the bridge. You built it quietly on the side while the old life is still paying the bills. And the day the bridge reaches the other side, you don't leap, you just walk across. Nobody who builds a bridge needs courage to cross it. They just need patience while they build. So let's talk about how you build the planks because there are really three of them and they all happen at the same time. The first plank is cutting your fixed cost, and this is one people resist the most. So stay with me. Your real number is built entirely on your monthly burn, which means every dollar you cut from your monthly burn doesn't just save you a dollar, it lowers the entire wall you have to clear. If you can trim your monthly burn down, your whole runaway numbers drops with it, and suddenly the finish line moves closer to you without you doing anything else. This is the highest leverage move available, and most people does it because you've been trained to think about learning more instead of needing less. But here's the truth. Every fixed cost in your life is a bar in the cage. The car payment you signed up for without thinking, the subscription you forgot you had, the lifestyle that quietly crept up every time you got a raise. None of that was a decision, it was drift. And you can undo drift. So, through your fixed cost, and the question every single one, like it's a stranger asking for your money every month, because that's exactly what it is. Quick break. If you want to go deeper on the number side of this, check the description and pinned comment below for helpful resources on this topic. It'll make this a lot more concrete. All right, back to it. The second plank is building income before you need it. This is the one that separates the people who actually make it out from the people who stay stuck forever because they get the older wrong. Most people think the sequence is quit first, then figure out the money. The people who do this well run it the other way. They start building a small second stream of income while they are still fully employed when there's zero pressure on it. And here's why the timing is everything. When you try to build income while you're desperate and you make bad panic decisions, and desperation is obvious to everyone who deal with. When you build it calmly on the side with the paycheck still coming in, you can be patient and you can experiment. You you can let it grow slowly. The first dollar you earn outside your old career is worth 10 times its face value because it proves the things you fear spheres is impossible. It proves you can make money in a new way. And once you have proven it once, the whole story in your head changes. Now, I want you to be realistic. That second stream is going to start small and it's going to start slow. And a lot of people quit here because they compare a tiny new thing to their established career and feel silly. Don't. You are not comparing them. The new thing doesn't have to replace your whole income on day one. It just have to grow while your runaway holds. The runaway buys the time, the income fills the gap. Those two working together are the entire strategy. The third plank is stretching what you have into three buckets, and this is what turns the whole thing from scary to stable. because it's not just how much money you have, it's how it's organized. So here are the three buckets. Bucket 1 is your runway, and this is the money you are already calculated, the number that covers your monthly burn for 12 to 14 months. This bucket has one job and one job only, which is to remove panic. This is not for investing, it is not for growing. It is boring cash sitting here so that you can make good decisions instead of scared ones. Do not touch this bucket for anything else. Its entire value is that it exists. Bucket 2 is your long term money, the retirement and investment money you've been building for years. And the rule here is simple: you do not rate this to fund your transaction. This is a huge mistake people make. They panic, they crack open the long term bucket, and then they blew up decades of compounding to fund a leap they could have funded another way. Leave bucket 2 alone. Its job is the far future, not the next 2 years. Bucket 3 is your income bucket, and this is the new stream you've talked about. The money coming in from a new thing you're building. And the beautiful part is how these three work together. Bucket 1 gives you the time, bucket 3 grows to fill the gap during that time, and the bucket 2 stays untouched, quietly protecting your future the whole way through. When you have got all three set up, walking away stops being a gamble. You're not betting everything on one number. You have got a cushion, a growing income, and a protected future all at once. This is what it actually looks like to afford this. Now, let me get ahead of the objection know some of you are having, which is that's fine for someone with money. But I'm living close to the line. I can't build a runway. I hear you, and I'm not going to pretend the math is equally easy for everyone. But I want to push back gently because that belief is often the fog number talking again. The move for you isn't to give up on the plan, it's to stretch the timeline and attack the burn harder. Maybe your bridge takes 3 years instead of one. That's fine. A 3 year bridge that you are actually building beats a fantasy leap and you'll never take. The people who get stuck aren't the ones with less money. They are the ones who decide it was impossible before they ran the numbers. So they never started building anything at all. That's really the core of it. The reason to do this math isn't just the money, it's the math does to your mind. The moment you have a real number, a runway, and a plan, the trapped feeling starts to lift even before anything else changes. Because the thing that was crushing you was never really the career, it was the feeling of having no exit, and a plan is an exit, even one you haven't walked through yet. Just knowing the door is there changes how it feels to be in the room. So here's you work after this video. Get the paper, find your real monthly burn, multiply it by the runway you want. That's your number. Then start attacking your fixed deposit and building one small stream on the side. You don't have to move fast, you just have to start building the bridge, one plank at a time, while the other old life still holds up you up. And look, once the money side is handled, there's a second wall that stops even the people who can afford it. It's not financial at all. It's the question of who you even are without the thing you have done for 20 years. That's identity crisis is real and it derails people who have all the money they need. So I made a video digging into exactly that. You're feeling like erasing yourself and what to do about it. You can check it out by clicking right here.